Right, and you're back on Midday Live on TV3. We'll go into issues of SSNIT, and we understand the Social Security and National Insurance Trust has increased monthly pension allowance by 15%, and we've been joined in the studio by the Corporate Affairs Director or Manager, Evangelina Amegashi. Good afternoon to you and Happy New Year to you.
Good afternoon, Happy New Year to you too.
Yes, what necessitated the increase?
By Section 80 of the National Pensions Act, SSNIT is obligated to index or increase the monthly pension of pensioners annually. And we have been doing this since 1992. So every year we index the pension of the pensioners, the SSNIT pensioners.
All right. For some people, increase is good, but it depends on how much you're earning. Do we factor that into it, or because the law says, well, it's flat, we just go ahead and just do, across board 15?
The law doesn't say that it's flat. Social Security payment depends on 3 elements. First is on the salary that you earn, then upon the age that you retire, and how long you contribute to the fund. And the salary you earn is key. So we always advise people not to undercut their salaries and just heap them into allowances. Make sure that they consolidate their salaries so that the percentage that is deducted for Social Security, it is done and it's meaningful for the contributor. So now with a 15% increase, those who were on Social Security pension as at December 2014, the minimum pension was 200 Ghana cedis. So that if you are with a 15%, it's been broken into 2. There's a 5% and then there's a 10%.
How to explain to us?
The 10% translates into a fixed amount of 36.92, 36 cedis, 92 pesos. The 5% is on whatever you were earning in 2014. So let's take, for example, we were earning, the minimum pension was 200 Ghana cedis. So 5% of that plus the 200 plus 36.92. That is what you're going to get.
Okay, I'm not even going to try to calculate.
Yeah, but those who are now coming on new entrants as pensioners from January 2015, their minimum pension is going to be 230 Ghana cedis.
Okay, and that means you've already factored this.
Exactly. So they are now the new pension. Last year the minimum pension was 200. This year the minimum pension is 230
because of the 15%.
Exactly. And you can't be the same as you go to. I use this example to illustrate it. You work in an organization for a year, then somebody comes in new. You after 1 year you get your increment. Then somebody comes in, you are not going to receive the same thing. You also have to work. And this increment, you're going to receive it for the next 12 months, for the next years that the good Lord gives you. No, that you stay on pension. If you live over 100 years, we're going to continue paying you your pension. And every year we're going to index it. At the moment, the highest pension earner collects about 22,000 Ghana cedis a month, a pensioner. 22 Ghana cedis, 22,000 Ghana cedis a month.
All right. I'll come on to the misconception, the biggest misconception people have about pensions. But I want to stay on how you calculate. Is it should I use the last 2 years of the person's work? I mean, the best salaries. Is that how you grade them?
The best 3 years salary. The best 3 years. Invariably, it's the last 3 years. But the law doesn't say the last 3 years. It says the best 3 years. So that if you used to be a CEO of a company and now you are earning so much,
then another company you are earning 4,000.
Exactly. So we take the best 3 years.
Okay, all right. What's the biggest misconception that you've received about pensions in Ghana? People's contribution. What's the biggest that has come to your table? And I'll tell you.
They're always saying that what we pay is small, but we just say garbage in, garbage out. What you put in, if you put in good money, you get good money. So somebody is earning 22,000 as a monthly pension, and somebody is collecting 230. And those people collecting 230, I can bet to say that probably they never receive that amount of money as salaries.
Okay.
You know, because we have fixed a minimum pension. These people, when we do use our formula to calculate, they won't get 230. But SSNIT has fixed a minimum pension that if you don't receive anything at all, you receive your 230 Ghana cedis. So when you fall below 230, SSNIT upgrades you to 230.
Okay, so how about people who are already on pension? And you mentioned that, well, they are earning perhaps more than what they were even taking whilst they are in work. But now they know the system. Perhaps what you could buy with 100 cedis maybe a year or two ago, you cannot buy. And so they factor all that, even though they were not earning. What about those arguments when they come to you? How do you deal with them?
Well, what can you say? As human beings, we will always be dissatisfied with what...
Sorry, no, don't worry. It's okay. It's fine.
Is given to you.
Sure.
But we have...
Sorry, no, you can call. Go ahead. You can share your thoughts on social media platforms and news on TV. We have news on TV, especially for young people. Employment. I mean, what are you expecting from SSNIT? What do you make of the current 15% increase that from this year, the minimum will be 230 cedis. I mean, compared last year was 200 cedis, and of course, hopefully 2016 it will be reviewed and so on and so forth. Yeah, you were making a point. Sorry, we'll get you water. They bring water. So yeah, you were making a point. Yeah,
that they will always be dissatisfied, but we have to ensure that we sustain the fund so that when you and I will retire, there will be money for us. So they will always ask for more, but we have to do the actuarial projections to make sure that what we are paying, the fund can be sustained, so that there wouldn't be a time that you come and say we are sorry.
But SSNIT has a lot of money. You have a lot of investments.
You know, we pay 94 million Ghana cedis a month for about 140,000 pensioners. Last year, from January to November, we paid over 800 million Ghana cedis for pensioners for benefits. Out of that, we paid over 700 for pensioners. So the money is there, but it's for other people. We are holding the money in trust. Yes, we are holding the money in trust. Okay. They will come for the money someday. Even when they die, their dependents or their survivors will come for the money. Even pensioners, when they die before age 72, their survivors come for their money. Likewise, if you're a worker and you die, your survivors come for them. So they will always come for the money. So we have to be very careful, very thrifty in addition out the money. Finally, so that when you and I will retire, we can have our benefits.
All right, and finally, student loan. How is the collection coming up? Because I was on your website, I was reading, and there's an ad there that says, okay, I now have a job and I should pay my contribution. How is that coming out? Are you still able to track students who have left, those who have left the country, people who are not paying? How do you track them? And how much of that
the novelty of the new students loan is that the guarantors were contributed to the scheme. So as a last resort, the guarantors pay. So if you don't pay, your guarantors will pay. If they don't pay, we take it from their benefits. So if you're a student loan, the money is not a bad debt. We don't have it in our vocabulary. By all means, we get the money. So for the past 2 years, we have introduced a system that if you collected the money about 10 years and over, and you are on our radar, we take it from your contributions. If you don't have enough contributions, we go to the guarantors' contributions and we take the money out.
Right.
So by all means, we will make sure we collect all the debts.
All right, Evangelina Megashi, thank you very much for joining us in our studio.